This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
2 people are dead after what police believe was an attempted home invasion. Why they say a third person could provide answers as to exactly what happened.
Thousands of teachers will rally for education at the State House today, the issues they're fighting for, and what you need to know if you are traveling downtown.
And the mayor of Muncie is facing federal charges this morning. Why he was arrested by the FBI. 5 o'clock on your Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrett.
And I'm Lauren Casey. We do want to bring in Todd Clausen right now. Talk about our forecast for today. Todd, people may need to prepare before they head to work today.
Yeah, you know, you're going to hear me mention rain in the forecast.
Okay.
With that said, it's not a steady rain. It's not a heavy rain. It's not a rain that's going to last all day. But it is in the forecast, so you have to prepare, as Lauren mentioned. And it's going to come in probably midday and last kind of off and on throughout the afternoon hours. Now, this morning, your commute should be just fine. Maybe a little bit of patchy drizzle here and there, but that's just about it. Some visibility issues, once again, they're not terrible, but reduced a little bit here on the eastern side of the state, so be aware of that. Otherwise, temperatures this morning are hovering anywhere from 29 in Crawfordsville, 32 in Lafayette, to 33 in Greenfield, and Richmond currently sitting at 45 degrees. Where it's cooler, the skies are a little clearer. Where it's a little bit warmer, that's where the clouds are in place this morning. And again, can't rule out the chance of a sprinkle or two on your morning drive, but nothing substantial. What we're looking at for later on this afternoon is this batch of rain that is up in Iowa, and some snow there as well. That is going to make its way into our area. Our temperatures, though, will be well above freezing at that point. So we are just looking at plain old rain showers. But essentially from the noon hour on, we will be dealing with them off and on. They'll all be very light. Temperatures, they will climb up into the mid-40s later on today. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We are keeping a close eye on your roads. Right now, here's a look on the west side, I-465 and I-74. You can see traffic here is moving along just fine on your interstates. We'll continue to keep an eye out for any crashes or delays that might slow you down this Tuesday.
Now to a story we've been following overnight. Metro Police say 2 men are dead following an attempted home invasion on the city's northwest side. The incident happened around 11 last night on Priscilla Court, that's near 34th and Arlington. When police arrived, they found the 2 men inside suffering gunshot wounds. Both were pronounced dead at the scene. Police tell RTV6 they believe there is a third person involved in the incident who could provide answers as to what exactly happened at the home. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. Thousands of teachers will wear red for Ed as they rally at the State House this morning to ask lawmakers to make changes for education.
Many districts across our state are actually closing today because of this event. Teachers and their supporters are advocating for 3 key changes. They want to make sure students and schools are not punished because of iLearn test scores. They want state teacher pay average raised to $60,000, and they want lawmakers to repeal a 15-hour externship requirement to renew their license. RTV6's Rafael Sanchez talked to teachers and administrators on each of these issues, so stay tuned for his full report coming up at 6 o'clock on Good Morning in Indiana.
But first, we have had many questions about where to park and just how safe this Red for Ed rally will be.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy day, and our Kelsey Anderson joins us live right now with how Indigo and law enforcement officials alike are preparing for the thousands of teachers that are descending on downtown today. Kelsey.
Good morning. Yeah, so if you take the Indigo red lines, I just want to show you how close you will be to the State House. So we're currently on the State House red line stop, and look right here. This is where the State House is, just steps away, and this is what organizers are urging teachers to take today. They're urging them to take the red line, park away from the State House, and come in on the bus. They say the red line is still free for riders this week. So again, ISTA is urging teachers to utilize the service and not to park near the State House because a lot of the parking spots aren't open and you could risk being towed. Leslie Gordon with Indigo says they are prepared for the influx in riders, but still ask that you are patient with their drivers.
We understand we're going to see quite a bit more traffic. A lot of organizers are guiding travelers to use that for their ride. We're just asking that you give us a little extra time, plan extra time in your travel. We're going to see buses that are full and you might have to wait for the next one, and potentially some delays with the added traffic on the road.
As far as security goes, ISP is partnering with IMPD, the fire department, and many other organizations, including emergency management services, to ensure everyone is safe today. Now, I'll have more on traffic and security coming up throughout the morning on Good Morning Indiana. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Kelsey, thank you so much. Stay with RTV6 on air on the RTV6 app and also on the RTV6 Facebook page for our extensive coverage of Red for Ed Day. We'll have team coverage starting at 6 o'clock right here on Good Morning Indiana, plus a live digital newscast starting at 9 o'clock right on the RTV6 app and also on our Facebook page.
The mayor of Muncie has been arrested by the FBI and is facing federal charges this morning. U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Indiana announced a federal charge against Mayor Dennis Tyler yesterday. He's accused of accepting a $5,000 bribe to award government contracts to a construction company.
This could be, and probably indeed is, a sad day for the people of Muncie. But for those people, my message is simple. They, like any other Hoosier, deserve the best from their elected officials. And for those who abuse that power, they will be held justly accountable.
Mayor Tyler did not run for re-election. He's charged with theft of government funds and is the 7th person arrested and charged in a Muncie corruption probe. You can read more about the investigation by going to the RTV6 app and clicking on this story.
Before the high school basketball season even starts, a local high school is being barred from the state tournament. Southport High School boys basketball team is being penalized for recruitment violations. The IHSAA says head coach Eric Brand provided a tuition payment to Perry Township schools on behalf of a player, and the district accepted the payment. In addition to being banned from the tournament, that player will be ineligible for the upcoming season. The entire athletic department is also on probation for the next year, and Brand is suspended for the first 2 games of the upcoming season.
Here at 5:07, Hamilton County is starting a new program to help first responders find you faster in an emergency. When people call 911 from cell phones, dispatch centers usually rely on getting a hit off of a cell tower to find the caller. But if you sign up for Smart 911, you can enter your address and other information beforehand in the event of an emergency. This technology hits close to home for Jody Schwind. About a year ago, her nephew died after calling 911 twice in Cincinnati. Officers responded but could not find him.
My kids are obviously very well aware of the technology. They have downloaded the app on their phones. I have them in my profile as well. And so if they ever called 911, I would know, my husband would know, and it definitely gives me a peace of mind. For sure.
For more information about signing up for Smart 911, you can head to the RTV6 app and click on this story.
Well, some lawmakers are getting a head start on sharing their goals for the 2020 session. On Monday, state Democrats revealed what their priorities are for this year. They include stopping partisan redistricting, stopping preventable gun deaths, and decriminalizing marijuana. Democrats plan to introduce a bill that will change the possession of minor amounts of marijuana from a misdemeanor to an infraction that will not lead to jail time.
If you think that people still don't go to jail for possession of minor amounts of marijuana, you're wrong. Those of us who serve on the Interim Study Committee on Criminal Code heard statistics that possession of marijuana is still the 2nd highest incident of arrest in the state of Indiana.
Back in September, the Marion County Prosecutor's Office announced it would no longer file criminal charges against adults arrested for possessing less than 1 ounce of marijuana.
The city of Franklin is one step closer to bringing hundreds of new jobs to the area. The city council approved a 10-year package of tax breaks for Energizer Manufacturing last night. The company is planning to bring more than 400 jobs to Johnson County with the new distribution center. Their goal is to hire workers by 2022 with salaries between $35,000 and $84,000.
Here at 509, collection is now underway for a program that provides kids around the world with something to open on Christmas morning. Operation Christmas Child collects shoeboxes filled with gifts. To help, you just fill a shoebox with items for kids and wrap it like a Christmas present. Organizers say some kids have never received a present before in their whole lives. The collection goes through next Monday. To find drop-off sites and times and information, just head on over to theindychannel.com and click on this story. We do want to get a check of our forecast for today, Todd, and see if those drop-off sites are going to have any issues. I know they were for an interview at the News at Noon yesterday, and she wanted clear skies.
Well, the skies are definitely not going to be clear here throughout the day today. With that said, we are going to have some rain coming from the clouds, and those rain showers are primarily going to move in, though, during the afternoon hours. For your morning drive as you get going, you may want to grab that extra cup of coffee. We'll have some cloud cover out there. It's not out of the question that you could have a hit or miss sprinkle here or there, but it shouldn't be anything more than that, with temperatures that'll be hovering right around that 30-degree mark. So here's what it looks like on the satellite radar picture. We've had these showers move through the Seymour area, pushing off towards the east. Skies trying to clear initially here. It's not out of the question this morning. We could see a little bit of sunshine, but there is more in the way of precipitation off to our west, and this is what's going to impact our area once we get to about midday and then beyond. Now, you don't have to worry about any of the snow aspect of that, because when it arrives, temperatures are going to be well above freezing, as highs today will top off right around 50 degrees in Muncie, as well as Rushville and Columbus. As you work your way off towards the west, it's a little bit cooler, 47 in Noblesville, and then eventually 45 degrees in Rockville. Thursday is actually the best rain chance this entire week, but in between today and Thursday, we sandwich in a pretty nice day tomorrow. More on that coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
Todd, thanks. 4 more officials are scheduled to testify in public hearings today. Coming up, why President Trump says he's now considering testifying himself.
And Burger King is now facing a lawsuit over its meatless burgers. Still ahead, why vegans are asking for compensation.
And here is a live look right now in the downtown area, I-65 and I-70 at the North Split, where traffic is starting to pick up a little bit this morning. No crashes, no delays here to slow you down. Of course, we'll continue to keep our eye on things and keep you updated on the other side of the break. Stick around. You're watching Good Morning Indiana.
Airing Hoosiers only on RTV6.
Welcome back. Time right now is 5:14. Here is a live look at traffic on the east side, I-465 and I-70. No problems here for your Tuesday morning commute.
This morning begins a new round of public testimony in the House impeachment inquiry. Today's lineup features 4 State Department officials, some of whom listened in on the president's July phone call with Ukraine. They include a special advisor to the vice president, Jennifer Williams, the National Security Council's top Ukraine expert, Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman, the former U.S. Special Envoy to Ukraine, Ambassador Kurt Volker, and Tim Morrison, a White House aide with the National Security Council. Now, President Trump says he is strongly considering testifying in the impeachment probe after this informal offer from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
The president could come right before the committee and speak all the truth that he wants if he wants to.
The most anticipated witness to testify this week is EU Ambassador Gordon Sondland, who will testify tomorrow.
President Trump's doctor was revealing more about the president's trip to the hospital last weekend that raised some concerns about his health. The doctor described the appointment at Walter Reed National Military Center as planned and a routine checkup. The trip didn't follow typical protocol for a presidential checkup, which is what caused the concerns, but his doctor said all is well and that it was due to scheduling uncertainties that the appointment was kept off the record.
A Colorado jury has found Patrick Frazee guilty of killing his fiancée who went missing last Thanksgiving. 33-year-old Frazee was found guilty on all 8 charges. His fiancée, Kelsey Barrett, was the mother to Frazee's toddler. Prosecutors say Frazee beat Barrett to death with a bat while the 1-year-old was in the apartment. Her body has still not been found. Frazee was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
At 5:16, residents out in California are preparing for another round of blackouts as utility companies try to prevent those wildfires. Power company Pacific Gas and Electric announced 264,000 customers in Northern California counties may start to be impacted starting tomorrow. They say there's an increased risk of fire because expected dry conditions and high winds. PG&E says it plans to inspect the lines once the winds die down on Thursday, and they hope to restore power later. The company's chief executive said that these planned outages could continue for a decade, if you can believe that. All right, it is 5:17 back here at home in Indiana. Indianapolis area, Todd, what can we expect for your forecast today?
You know, rain showers are back in the forecast here throughout the day today. They kind of peak, as you see here, midday and then throughout the afternoon hours. So this morning, it's more sprinkles and maybe a little bit of patchy drizzle than anything. Nothing steady, nothing heavy. And then as we get towards the noon hour and just beyond, that's when the showers become the most numerous across the area, and then they'll kind of fade away as we work our way into the evening hours. Now outside right now, visibility not an issue here in downtown Indianapolis, as you can see, but especially off to the east, Rushville, Shelbyville, down towards Greensburg and Seymour. You are dealing with a little bit in the way of patchy fog here this morning, so be aware of that as you take to the roadways or if your travels take you in that direction. 36 degrees, that is the current temperature outside right now. Just a light wind out of the south-southeast at 7 miles per hour. So as we work our way throughout the day today, we may even have a little bit of sunshine here and there this morning, but by 11, 12 o'clock, that's when the showers are moving in. They're all very light and scattered in nature. That's the good news if you plan on being out and about throughout the day today. And it's all rain. No threat of any snow, as temperatures will be getting into the mid-40s later on this afternoon. So here's the current situation on our satellite radar picture. You notice a few breaks in the clouds starting to appear. Here are a few showers that just went through the Seymour, North Vernon area. But as we expand out, it's what we see here moving now into extreme western Illinois. That's going to dive down and make its way here into central Indiana. We will not see the snow aspect again because temperatures will be in the mid-40s later on this afternoon, but you will have to have the rain gear handy if you're running errands or you're going to be out and about. Here we are at 12:30, some light showers moving in, and as we continue into the mid-afternoon hours, that's when they reach the metro area, and then they're with us for the evening drive. But again, everything is very, very light, pretty scattered in nature. I think there's a good opportunity if you are going to be out and about for an extended period of time. You just kind of have that damp feeling with a little bit of drizzle, and you never get into the light but steady rainfall that will develop across the area. So it's just one of those afternoons and evenings where it will feel damp, and some of you will be dealing with these scattered showers off and on, especially at least through about the 8 o'clock hour. Once we get past 8 o'clock, it's mainly just cloudy for us with temperatures that'll hold steady in the 40s. Now tomorrow morning, you wake up to temperatures that are above freezing. That is the good news. And tomorrow is the best weather day of the week. I know I need to cut my grass one final time, pick up some leaves, do a little fall cleanup, and tomorrow is going to be your opportunity to do it. We get the sunshine back. Temperatures will be in the mid-40s to right around 50 degrees. And the reason I point out tomorrow is the best day, even though it's not the warmest day in the forecast, which is on Thursday, is because on Thursday, we're going to see more widespread showers make their way through the area. So Thursday's the day that's potentially the wettest day that we have in our extended forecast. And then behind that front, we are looking at temperatures that'll be much cooler again as we fall back down into the 40s. So as we work our way throughout the week, tomorrow partly sunny, again 50 degrees, rain with warmer temperatures on Thursday, and then even Saturday morning, there could be a little bit of a light rain snow mixture with temperatures right around freezing. Lauren?
All right, Todd, here is a live look right now at your commute through the downtown area. I-65 and I-70 at the north split. You can see quite a few headlights out that way, but everything is traveling smoothly at this hour. I'm not monitoring any crashes around the metro area, so that is great news if you're heading out the door early this morning. Let's take a look right now at our Traffic Now map, planning out your drive from the northwest side, heading southbound along Interstate 65. Starting off here at I-865 in the dog leg, heading down to I-70 at the north split. It's an 18-minute drive. That's about normal, so no major delays. Let's take a look on the north side right now at your commute at I-465 and Keystone Avenue. Traffic is picking up there as well, but still traveling up to speed.
This morning, Burger King is facing a lawsuit over its Impossible Whopper after claims it is contaminated by meat. Philip Williams says he filed the lawsuit on behalf of other vegans and accuses the fast food chain of not telling customers the Impossible Whoppers are cooked on the same grill as regular burgers. He said he would not have paid for one if he'd known. Burger King's online menu says the burger is 0% beef and that for guests looking for a meat-free option, a non-broiler method is available upon request. The suit wants compensation for everyone who bought the burger and for the company to disclose its information about the grills. Burger King says it does not comment on pending lawsuits.
Airbnb announcing it will partner with the Olympics for the next 8 years. The deal means that Airbnb will be available for visitors and workers. The move hopes to reduce the need for host cities to build extra hotels just for the event. Those extra projects can cost cities billions of dollars, which much of that money coming from taxpayers. The partnership will begin at next year's Summer Games in Tokyo.
The top Jeopardy contestants in history are going to face off in a special tournament. After the break, the players competing to be greatest of all time.
And we're keeping a close eye on your roads this morning. No issues to report around the interstates here or in downtown. We'll continue to keep you updated on the other side of the break. Stick around. You're watching Good Morning Indiana.
Come take a test drive at Honda of Fishers.
A matchup Jeopardy fans have been waiting for is happening only on RTV6. The highest money winners in the show's history will face off to determine who is the best of the best. ABC announced on Twitter Ken Jennings, James Holzhauer, and Brad Rutter will compete in the challenge. The three champs will play a series of matches. The first player to win 3 will receive a cool million and be crowned the greatest of all time. The other 2 contestants will walk away with $250,000 each. It will air right here on RTV6 starting at 8 on January 7th.
Some people are just very smart.
They are.
I know. Good for them.
And there'll be a lot of people watching that.
They
because
will.
even when James came back, I heard people out and about saying, I never watched Jeopardy, but I'm going to go watch James tonight.
Right.
So, and then you throw Ken Jennings in there. So we shall see.
A battle of the brains is what it is.
I hope they come up with some harder questions than in like normal Jeopardy,
I think they should. All right.
I mean, they're all hard to me, but all right, I get one every now and then. Outside right now, we're dealing with partly cloudy skies, a little bit of patchy fog. It's not an issue in the metro area, as you can see there on the RTV6 Weather Now camera network. But as we go throughout the course of the day, we will start to build in some showers, mainly noon hour onward, and they're just going to be light. They're going to be spotty, but just know they will be possible. As far as temperatures today, we'll be topping off in the mid to upper 40s.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. A Warren Township school bus driver was fired after allegedly choking an 8-year-old boy. Ahead on Good Morning Indiana, what the child's parents are saying about that incident. We'll be right back.
Today at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5:30, it is a Red for Ed Action Day. Tens of thousands of teachers are going to be gathering here at the State House this morning with a list of demands for lawmakers.
We've got everything you need to know about today's event, from childcare options to how to get around downtown. And Metro Police are investigating after 2 men were found dead on the city's northeast side.
We'll have the very latest on that investigation. Plus, we do want to get a check of your forecast here on this Tuesday.
Yeah, meteorologist Todd Clausen is standing by. And Todd, you might need to accessorize with an umbrella today.
Yeah, you know, it's not a bad thing to grab, or at least have the rain jacket handy with a hood on if you're going to be out and about later on this afternoon. You probably don't need the sunglasses today. There may be a few peaks of sunshine early on here this morning, but the umbrella, as Meredith mentioned, is what you really need to have later on this afternoon. You can do your workout this morning. It's just kind of damp outside right now, and a little bit of patchy fog is starting to settle in. So when you look at the visibility numbers here, they're not all that bad. It's always when you get to a mile or less that I think you really start to have issues on the roadways. But you notice where we do have these areas of gray, that's where the visibility is reduced a little bit, and it does include Interstate 74. So just be aware of that if you are going to be out and about here throughout the morning hours. As the skies are starting to clear, a little more fog may settle in here with the cooler temperatures working in as those skies clear. This is what we'll watch for later on this afternoon. That band of moisture will head in our direction. When it arrives here, though, temperatures are well above freezing, so it's just rain shower activity for us here in central Indiana. But essentially from 11 o'clock onward, from west to east across the area, we'll see those rain showers move through with temperatures today, Lauren, that'll top off in the mid-40s.
Todd, thank you. Here is a live look right now at your commute as you're heading out the door on this Tuesday. I-465 and West 38th Street over here on the northwest side. You can see traffic is moving along smoothly there this morning. No major issues to slow you down. So let's take a look here at our Traffic Now maps. Drive times for your commute through Hamilton County. Southbound I-69 from State Road 13 down to the I-465 ramps. No major issues there. But let's take a look at something you may run into. A little reduced visibility here from our camera on the east side. This is I-465 and I-70. So So just use caution and those low beams as you're heading out there this morning. So today, teachers from all across the state will descend here on the Indiana State House to send a message to lawmakers.
More than 16,000 people are registered to attend the Red for Ed rally, according to the Indiana State Teachers Association. The protest is focused on three things. They include better pay for teachers, not allowing districts to use iLearn testing results, which have been criticized to evaluate teachers and school grades, and the push to repeal the externship requirement that would force teachers to do work outside the classroom in order to renew their teaching license.
If your student will be out of school today, we do want to make sure that you are aware of some child care options. The Boys and Girls Club will have several clubs open today from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. with snacks provided. This is free for members. Non-members can sign up for $15. Also, several locations of YMCAs will be hosting Schools Out camps. They will be open from 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. for children ages 5 to 12. Prices for the Y camps vary depending on location and membership status. Food will not be provided during those camps. Several IPS schools will be serving lunch today from 11 until 12:30. You can find a list of those as well as a full list of childcare options and locations right on the RTV6 app.
And we've had many questions of where to park and just how safe this Red for Ed rally will be.
It's going to be a big, busy event, and our Kelsey Anderson joins us live now with how Indigo and local law enforcement officials are preparing for tens of thousands of teachers who are expected to come out today. Kelsey, good morning.
Good morning, Lauren and Meredith. So organizers and law enforcement officials are urging people not to park near the State House. With more than 16,000 people registered for this event, they say it's going to be pretty hectic down here near Capitol and Washington Street by the State House. So ISP officials tell us they don't plan on closing any roads, but they want you to avoid driving near the State House. They are recommending people utilize Indigo's Red Line. The Red Line is still free to ride right now, so they are hoping a lot of folks will use it. Leslie Gordon says they will have supervisors at some of the busier stops to help guide riders to the State House.
We will have supervisors monitoring the stop at College because we know the parking garage is there, and those at Capitol to help communicate how the flow of buses is going. So we have it actively in our schedule to make adjustments as we can.
As far as security goes, ISP is partnering with IMPD, the fire department, and many other organizations, including EMS, to ensure everyone is safe today. Now, I want to show you just how close you are to the State House if you ride the Red Line. So we are at, again, this stop at the State House Red Line bus stop. And if you look here, you are just steps away from the State House, steps away from where people are going to be rallying today for Red for Ed. So again, if you are planning on coming down here for that rally, people are encouraging you to utilize the Red Line this morning. Reporting live in Indianapolis, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. Now to some developing news on the city's northeast side. Police are investigating the deaths of two men who were found dead inside a home on Priscilla Court. That's near 34th in Arlington. We're told officers were called to the home around 11 last night. When they arrived, they found both men unconscious, suffering from gunshot wounds. They were both pronounced dead at the scene. Police tell us a third person was likely involved, but was able to get away before officers arrived. We will continue to follow this story and bring you the latest developments on air and online.
It is 5:36. A Warren Township school bus driver is out of the job after allegedly choking an 8-year-old boy. The incident reportedly happened Friday, November 8th, but the boy's family was not told about it until Tuesday, the 11th. Video of that incident has not been released. The boy told his grandmother, Kimberly Kincaid, that the driver reached over another student, picked him up by his collar, choked him, and dangled him in the air and then threw him in the aisle. Now Kincaid is asking for criminal charges to be filed. She's also demanding accountability and transparency from the school district, along with a response for the behavior that she calls inexcusable.
They're supposed to have compassion. Just like it takes a village, he's part of that village. Yes, and he didn't live up to that.
A spokesperson for Warren Township Schools tells us the incident did happen on the bus on November 8th, and when they learned about it, it was immediately investigated. Officials determined the driver did not choke the boy, but did handle him inappropriately. The schools also says the findings of their investigation have been turned over to authorities. We're waiting to learn from the prosecutor's office whether any charges will be filed.
IMPD's North District is kicking off its Holiday Helper program to keep shoppers, stores, and residents residents safe near the busy 82nd Street corridor and other shopping centers.
The district will be increasing patrols in that area specifically, and officers will be checking to see if cars from shoppers are following safety guidelines by locking their doors and hiding valuables. If they happen to see a vehicle that is a target for theft, they will leave behind a flyer.
This kind of serves as a reminder of saying, hey, you left these items visible. It takes only a matter of seconds for someone to break into your vehicle, and we kind of try and redirect their behavior.
Community relations officers will also work with stores to address their concerns about things like lighting. Metro Police say the number of vehicle break-ins rises during the holiday season, especially in retail areas. At 5:38, want to get a check of our bus stop forecast for the kids who do have to head to school today, Todd.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think about that. Not everybody's going to school here today, but some of you are, and as a result, we'll give you your bus stop forecast here. 32 degrees with mostly cloudy skies as you do head off to school, and as you come home from school, that's when we'll be dealing with some scattered showers here across the area with temperatures that'll eventually get up to right around 45 degrees. Now, it's a little bit of a rain-snow mixture off to our west right now, but by the time this arrives here in central Indiana, that is when we are going to be talking about all rain, because at that point our temperatures are up into the mid-40s, so you don't have to worry about any wintry weather in the forecast here for the day today. But here's how your rain chances stack up. A little bit of patchy drizzles possible here this morning, really not going to impact you much at all. It's really from the noon hour throughout the afternoon into the early evening hours that we deal with the best rain chances across the area. So it's those hours that you probably want to have the umbrella handy or a rain jacket handy if you're going to be out and about. Tomorrow, a nicer day for us. We get the sunshine back. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. The two officers in charge of watching Jeffrey Epstein on the night of his death are now facing federal criminal charges. Straight ahead, what prosecutors say they did to try to cover their tracks.
A major announcement from Chick-fil-A has people cheering coming up. Details on the company's decision to stop charitable donations to organizations that are accused of discriminating against the LGBTQ community. But first, here at 5:39, let's take a look outside at traffic. This is I-465 and West 38th Street on the northwest side. Traffic here is moving along smoothly, northbound and southbound. We'll keep you updated on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
If it's not for my robot, it's not a Roomba.
Testimony continues today in the House impeachment inquiry. 4 people are set to testify in front of the House Intelligence Committee. In the morning, Jennifer Williams, an aide to Vice President Mike Pence, and Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman, the National Security Council's top Ukraine expert, will testify. Both reportedly had concerns as Trump spoke with the newly elected Ukraine president about political investigations into Joe Biden. Then in the afternoon, Ambassador Kurt Volker, the former U.S. Special Envoy to Ukraine, and Tim Morrison, a White House aide with the National Security Council focusing on Europe and Russia policy, will take the stand.
At 5:43, 2 correctional officers responsible for guarding Jeffrey Epstein when he took his own life are expected to face federal criminal charges. Those charges could be handed down as soon as today. Epstein died at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York while awaiting trial on charges of sexually abusing teenage girls. The officers are suspected of failing to check on him every half hour as required and of falsifying log entries to claim that they had. Both guards were working overtime because of staffing shortages when Epstein was found. They've been placed on administrative leave while the investigation into Epstein's death continues. Images of an intense search for an 8-year-old girl kidnapped from her mother in broad daylight and her dramatic rescue have just now been released.
The incident happened in Fort Worth, Texas, and ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas reports it was a race against time to find that little girl.
It's every parent's worst nightmare. An 8-year-old literally snatched from her mother as they go for a walk in this Fort Worth neighborhood. All caught on this doorbell camera in May. The mom fighting for the child, pushed out of the suspect's car.
One of the most disturbing things about this incident was the randomness of it.
6 hours later, police called to this hotel 7 miles from the abduction after a report of a suspicious man with a child. They talk their way in, but leave after a brief search. The child is right there, buried under clothes in this laundry basket. 2 hours later, a family friend helping police search identifies the suspect's car in the parking lot of that same hotel. Fort Worth police racing to the scene. Tactical teams force their way in.
Hands! Let me see your hands! Step out here! Step out!
apprehending the suspect. But where is the child? For a few gut-wrenching moments, there's no sign of her. But then...
Hey, here she is. Got her. We got her.
She pops up right there in the laundry basket.
Police say that little girl is doing remarkably well. Her kidnapper was sentenced to life in prison last week.
At 5:45, 3 people walking away unscathed from a crash in Illinois, and state police are calling this a miracle. Why don't you take a look at this video? Illinois State Police were assisting a stranded vehicle there when this box truck lost control. The truck passed right over the woman and missed the troopers by inches. The woman was treated at the hospital but only suffered from minor injuries. ISP posted this video online along with a reminder for drivers that reads, "Folks, we can't stress enough, slow down." So thankful that everyone there is okay. That is incredible video. Todd, thankfully, we're warming up here in central Indiana compared to last week around this time, so we don't have the slick, icy roads that you have to deal with.
Yeah, at this point last week, we were setting record low temperatures, and we had just gotten done with that snow on Monday evening. Not the case here this morning. It's a dry morning drive for you. That is the good news. Skies are mostly cloudy, and there's a little bit of patchy fog, but as you get going here this morning, remember to grab the umbrella. You will need it later on this morning as we start to see some rain showers head in our direction. But here's the visibility issues we have this morning. It's really these darker areas of gray that you have to be most concerned about, but it does impact the northern portion of 465 up to 69 as you work your way into Pendleton and Anderson. Also I-74 as you make your way past Greensburg there and Brookville on your way down towards Cincinnati. And these visibilities will likely start to drop a little bit more here this morning as the skies continue to clear. So be aware of that in the metro area. It is not an issue, though, currently here this morning with temperatures that are sitting at 34 degrees in Kokomo, Bloomington, 36 officially at the airport in Indianapolis. Martinsville, you're currently at 32 degrees. So still clouds from Indianapolis to Muncie, north to Peru, starting to clear out a little bit here off to the west. Ultimately, the clouds, though, they will start to fill back in, and what we wait for later on this afternoon, it's not a big storm system heading our way. It's just this little batch of rain and snow that's going to make its way here into our area as we get into the afternoon hours. So as you kind of plan ahead, and there's that big rally obviously down at the State House, you probably want to have the rain jacket or the poncho handy as we start to build in these showers, especially throughout the afternoon hours. Most of the morning, it's kind of a damp feeling out there, but it should be mainly dry. And as we work our way into the evening hours, that's when the showers will come to an end by 7 p.m. and we're left with mostly cloudy skies throughout the remainder of the evening. So it's not a lot of rainfall that's heading our way. It's just going to be scattered in nature throughout the afternoon hours, but nonetheless, it will make its way from west to east across the state. Now, tomorrow's the best weather day of the week as we'll have lots of sunshine, especially in the afternoon hours. With that sunshine, your temperature gets up to 50 degrees. It's not the warmest day of the week. That will be on Thursday, but Thursday we bring more rain back into the forecast, so tomorrow's probably the best opportunity for you to get out and about. Here we are Thursday morning, still pretty dry Thursday morning, but then the showers will start to make their way in here throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours. Once we get past that cold front, we are looking at temperatures that'll be colder as we head into the weekend. In fact, as we work our way into Saturday and Sunday, we could potentially have a little bit of a light rain snow mixture. That's something we'll have to keep an eye on here as we go throughout the course of the afternoon hours. We get back into the sunshine. That is the good news. And then as we work our way into Monday, we see that temperature get back up to 51 degrees.
Thank you. We do want to take a look right here at our Traffic Now map. We are monitoring something we just picked up on. This is a jackknife semi-trailer crash, stopping traffic here, closing the eastbound lanes of I-70 near the Hendricks-Morgan County line and State Road 39. Just keep that in mind as you're heading out the door right now. It is backed up to Little Point Road. That's exit 51. So we'll continue to monitor this, but a heads up, if this is part of your morning commute, you'll want to use Washington Street, US 40 there, just to the north of that, as a detour route. Let's take a look, though, in the downtown area. No problems here at the North Split. We'll continue to keep a close eye on the roads and that semi jackknifed over there to our west, and we'll keep you updated this morning.
Chick-fil-A will no longer donate money to charities with anti-LGBTQ views. The fast food chain made the announcement Monday, saying starting next year, it will only donate to organizations that that focus on education, homelessness, and hunger. Chick-fil-A's donations and comments come from its executives that have already caused controversy over the past several years. CEO Dan Cathy has said the Atlanta-based fast food company supports, quote, the biblical definition of the family unit. In a statement, gay rights organization GLAAD said customers and employees should, quote, greet today's announcement with cautious optimism.
At 5:50, if you're driving to your Thanksgiving Day destination, you are not alone. According to AAA, nearly 50 million people will be hitting the roadways. But if you're planning to fly, there are some tricks to save you some cash. AAA recommends that you fly out the Monday before the Thanksgiving travel rush. Tickets are usually cheaper that day. Another option is fly on the actual holiday. According to Fare Compare, the most expensive days for Thanksgiving travel this year are Wednesday before the holiday and the Sunday after. Experts also recommend looking for alternate or smaller airports outside of a big city. You are likely to find cheaper tickets there.
And speaking of the holidays, you can help make a child's Christmas wish come true this year by becoming one of Santa's elves. You'll find everything you need right now on the USPS website. All over the country, kids will send letters to Santa asking for everything from toys to basics like a warm winter coat or shoes. That's where Operation Santa comes in. Letters from low-income kids are available for adoption online. You can pick one from any city in the country and mail it out by December 20th. Gifts are tax deductible, and if you would like your child to be added to the list, visit beanelf.org. We'll be right back with more Good Morning Indiana.
Come take a test drive at Honda of Fishers.
Welcome back. We are monitoring some breaking news right now in the traffic department. We have a jackknife semi closing the lanes of eastbound I-70. Traffic backed all the way up to Little Point Road. This is happening before you get to State Road 39. So if you're traveling through this area using I-70 here for your commute towards Indianapolis, you'll want to use US 40 as a detour. We'll continue to monitor this. No reports of any injuries at this time.
A once-in-a-lifetime radio sweepstakes helps a Florida couple start their own family. Back in 2017, B1039 held a Win-A-Baby contest. The winner got a round of in vitro fertilization treatments and the required medication for free. Thanks to that contest, now Krista and Anthony Rivera can call themselves parents. The couple says they did not think they would ever be parents after Anthony was diagnosed with testicular cancer. IVF treatments were the only option, but they couldn't afford them. Their baby boy Garrett is now 3 months old, and they are forever grateful.
Love that story.
So darling.
Oh yeah. Well, Snoop Dogg is coming for John Legend's title as sexiest man alive. The dog father, whose real name is Calvin Broadus, posted this photo to Instagram showing an edited magazine cover that has himself in place of the singer sporting a blue suit and an undone bow tie. Last week, Legend was named sexiest man alive by People magazine, and almost instantly the internet started creating hilarious memes poking fun at the singer, including Legend's own wife, Chrissy Teigen, who joked the sexiest man alive just made me a ham sandwich.
And I'm kind of surprised the only man in the room here right now, meteorologist Todd Clausen, didn't change up his graphics there to make it look like he had a People magazine cover behind him. Yeah, sexiest meteorologist alive.
Still going for that title.
I didn't quite make the cut, apparently. You know?
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. There's always next year. I got a lot of work on before that. All right. Outside right now, we're dealing with temperatures in the 30s, below freezing in Bloomington, 31, 33 in Indianapolis, 37 in Muncie. Radar is quiet right now. That is the good news for us. There were a few spotty showers earlier, and I can't rule out the chance of maybe a little bit of patchy drizzle on your way into work, but we are not looking at any widespread or heavy rainfall this morning. That changes this afternoon. As showers develop, they'll be light and scattered, but nonetheless have the umbrella handy. With temperatures today, they'll top off in the mid-40s. We'll talk more about the rain when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 5:56. Stay with us. We'll be right back.